Astros have arrived at the Big A. They're celebrating this 4th of July weekend in Anaheim with their division rivals. They're trying to bounce back from a tough sweep, and they'll do so with Brett Oberholzer on the mound. He faces Matt Shoemaker. Don't go anywhere. Astros baseball starts right now.
Coming off a 3-6 homestand, the Astros hit the road over this 4th of July weekend, starting with 4 with the second-place Angels here in Anaheim. Left-hander Brett Oberholzer gets the opening assignment to get things turned around. Hi, everybody. Alan Ashby and Jeff Blum with you here from Anaheim, and it's a little bit sticky and hot as we speak to you. We mentioned Brett Oberholzer. The Astros on the homestand, not so good, 3-6, and had a rough time. Now it's Obi's time to try to get this thing back on track.
Yeah, he might be the guy to do it. His last 3 starts, you're going to get a chance to look at his numbers. That 2-0 record, 1.86. Took that no decision against Detroit, where he faced a predominantly right-handed lineup. Did a great job against them. His fastball has been getting crushed of late, but he keeps going to that changeup, which I think is his best pitch. Has good deception on it, keeps the ball down. The problem with the fastball, locates it up a little bit, gets ripped a little bit, but look for him to pitch backwards, using that changeup to set up the fastball, as opposed to that fastball being used to set up his off-speed pitches. But a good guy for the Astros to have starting out this road trip.
Coming up, Jose Altuve and the Astros battle Mike Trout and the Angels. So don't go away. Jack in the Box. Head to Jack in the Box for the new jalapeno ranch or barbecue ultimate cheeseburgers at participating restaurants. And by AT&T Uverse TV. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT. Mobilizing your world. We're at Angel Stadium in Anaheim, California. Southern California, a little toasty these days. It's been in the mid and upper 80s throughout the afternoon, and little bit on the humid side as well, so that would be a nice place to be for the moment in the Astros dugout, a place where you're trying to get things turned around. And yeah, it's been some rough going lately. 3-6 on the recent homestand for the club. Brett Oberholzer, as we talked about, a chance to try to get things turned around here this evening. And we check in with Julia Morales.
Speaking of Brett Oberholzer, who we'll see tonight, recently called up just to make a spot start in place of Dallas Keuchel, who was dealing with that left wrist inflammation. But Brett Oberholzer pitching so well against the Tigers, allowing only 1 run in 6 2/3. He'll get another shot. But that's not because Dallas Keuchel isn't healthy. In fact, Keuchel is ready to go, was ready to go today, but they're pushing him back just 1 day. He will pitch tomorrow against the Angels. Feldman will go. McHugh on the final day of the series. Keuchel excited to get back out there, but this means a 6-man rotation just for now. Bo Porter said that he will reevaluate everything after everyone has made their start in this rotation. It gives everyone a chance to get a little extra rest as we get nearer to All-Star break. Back up to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Julia. And the meeting is still going on at home plate between the skipper Mike Scioscia and Dave Tremblay, bench coach for the Astros. They talk things over with the umpires here this evening. Angels just now taking the field for Bo Porter and company. Maybe a needed chance to get on the road and get away from home after that rugged homestand. These Angels have been a very good club. They are now in second place and just 3.5 games back in the American League West behind the Oakland A's, who have the best record in the American League. So with the Angels, it's third best record, trailing only Oakland and Detroit in terms of records in the American League. They have played terrific baseball, and especially here at home, they've won 6 straight and 12 of their last 13 right here in Anaheim. Now let's take a look at the Astros starting lineup, brought to you by Jack in the Box. That lineup for Bo Porter tonight: Jose Altuve in the top spot. He's at second. Doing the catching and moving into the 2 spot in the order, Jason Castro. George Springer is in right field. At first base, John Singleton. At third base, Matt Dominguez. Chris Carter gets a start tonight as the DH. Alex Presley in center. And left field, it's Kike Hernandez, who has been terrific in a couple of games, and Marwin Gonzalez at shortstop.
On the mound for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, it is going to be Matt Schumacher, making his 9th start, 14th appearance of the season. Appeared in 2 relief spots against the Houston Astros earlier in the season. If you do recall, he gave up John Singleton's first home run in the major leagues. Also gave up a home run to Jonathan Villar and Chris Carter. Therefore, 2 of those 3 guys are going to be in the lineup. He's going to feature a fastball, changeup, which I think acts more like a split finger. And if he has that working tonight, it's going to be tough for the Houston Astros. Backing up, Matt Schumacher here at Anaheim Stadium. Around the outfield, Josh Hamilton. In left field, Mike Trout. In center, Colin Cowgill. In right field, David Freese, Eric Ibar, Howie Kendrick, and Albert Pujols across the infield. Chris Iannetta working with Matt Schumacher.
So we're just about ready to start here this evening. Matt Schumacher is a right-hander who was undrafted out of college. He attended college at Eastern Michigan University. When undrafted, it was a dream of his and his father's, and they shed some tears together when that took place, but he wasn't to be stopped. He went on and played summer ball, collegiate summer ball, and got signed by the Angels, and now has made it to the major leagues. And quite a story for Matt Schumacher. Pretty good size guy at 6'2" and 225. He brings the first pitch of the evening, and Altuve takes it for a strike. Again, the Angels trying to make it 7 consecutive wins here in Angel Stadium. 12 of 13 is what they have won at home. Altuve takes a second strike. We've got a story on our hands here this evening. 0-2 the count.
He's got to step out sometimes, just wonder, man, I could have shot that down the left field line. Man, I could have gone the other way with every pitch he's seeing right now.
Is there a spot on the field where he couldn't hit it? He hits a little slow roller left side. Sliding knockdown play by Freese. No play at first base. And we'll see how that's ruled. It is a base hit. So Jose Altuve watches a couple of strikes and then takes a weak swing on a breaking ball and hits the ground ball for an infield single.
Just touch it. That's all he's got to do. Moves Freese to his left. I was kind of curious why he went down to that knee. Thought he might have had a chance just to catch that, throw it on a run a little bit. Maybe the shadow's messing with him a little bit.
Yeah, it certainly looked playable at third base. But Altuve aboard that infield single. And remember, he leads the league in batting average. He leads the major leagues in hits. He leads the American League in stolen bases. So now a great shot for Jose Altuve to make something to happen on the bases. Jason Castro will stand in. Double play depth at short and second. And Shoemaker steps off.
Altuve doing a good job for Jason Castro, left-handed hitter. Altuve at first base can run a lot. Pitchers normally throw fastballs when guys can steal at first base. Also, the first baseman holding on Altuve opens up that hole for the left-handed hitting Castro, who needs to get hot.
Castro takes one just off the outside edge. Yeah, you talk about Castro and the need to get hot. The numbers are not there. .216 the batting average. Does have 7 home runs on the year, 32 runs driven in. Altuve held on by Pujols. Pujols, by the way, in his 200th career game against Houston. Shoemaker set. And turns and lobs to first. Just getting underway. Altuve with the game's first hit. The Astros are 8-5 here at Anaheim since the start of last season. So they have had a lot of success. At one point last year, early on, they extended a team winning streak to 6 games as they won 4 consecutive games here in Anaheim. Shoemaker, not a youngster, he's 27 years of age. There are the numbers on Jason Castro. And very surprising after that All-Star year last year. Takes another close pitch. It's 2-1. Shoemaker made 1 start for the Angels last year. And that was a big thing for him and his family. He's a guy that will not walk many. In fact, walks just 2 per 9 innings. Holds onto the baseball and steps off.
This is where it's tough for Castro, struggling a little bit. You just want the pitcher to come to home plate, but Shoemaker doing a great job of keeping his eye on Altuve. 2-1 count, high action count. Good time for a hit and run.
Shoemaker has allowed 3 stolen bases in 4 tries against him on the year. And turns and throws to first again. Very easy back into the bag for Altuve. Short leads.
I'm not sure if Shoemaker has an A-plus move, but we haven't seen it yet, that's for sure.
Jose Altuve, by the way, took an offer in yesterday's game. And a very rare offer it was.
Surprised he's playing today.
Line shot to right field. That'll drop for a base hit. Cutting it off is Cowgill. He'll get it back in. Stopping at second, Altuve. So back-to-back hits, Altuve and Castro. And the Astros have something going with nobody out.
For the time being, Bo Porter looks like a genius for putting Castro in that 2-hole. But again, you got a burner on first base. Shoemaker had to throw a fastball right there. 2-hole seems to be a hot spot to hit.
Well, you get to hit with a man aboard a lot of the time, that's for sure.
Yeah, between Dexter Fowler and Altuve now.
Altuve had taken an 0 for 4 yesterday. In fact, he only had 2 hits in the 3 games against Seattle. Extremely rare. He had torn it up with the Tigers in town. 9 hits in those 3 games. Nobody out for George Springer. Springer had a big home run to start that Seattle series and then cooled off. Watches the breaking ball in for a strike. Two for 12 is what George had in the Seattle series. And on the homestand went 8 for 34. That's a .235 mark. Starts the bat, holds it back. It's a ball and a strike. Of course, Springer with 16 home runs on the year. Nobody out, runners at first and second. The Astros start the night 36-50 on the year, 16 games back of Oakland. Of course, they are pursuing the hottest team in the American League. As Springer takes a strike, it's 1-2.
How about that? Mike Scioscia in his 15th season with the Angels, one of 9 former catchers who are a current major league manager. It's not bad.
Pretty impressive.
So you guys are doing a little thinking back there when you're playing, huh?
I don't know. He's been a 2-time manager of the year. Mike might have done that. I don't know that all can make that claim. As the pitch is low, 2-2 the count. And that list of the managers. Of course, Brad Ausmus, we just saw him with the Tigers. Bruce Bochy has won a couple of World Series with the Giants. John Gibbons with the Jays. Joe Girardi in New York. Mike Matheny has already proven himself. Bob Melvin is the manager of the Oakland A's. Ned Yost, Clint Hurdle. Yeah, that's a very good list of skips. 2-2 to Springer, drilled on a hop and gloved it short by Ibar. He'll get an out at second. That's all they'll get as Springer legs it out. A fielder's choice and a terrific play to get it started by Ibar.
Not too often at shortstop, you got to play a little self-defense. I think this was a hanging changeup or split. Springer did a great job of staying back and throwing the barrel at it. Hits a bullet to Ibar. That was a relatively well-hit ball and a quick turn. Springer hustling down that line, creating a first and third situation. That's what you want to see.
That first and third situation now has John Singleton at the plate, 0 for his last 9. When the Astros find Springer and Singleton cooling down in the heart of the batting order, they tend not to score a lot of runs, and that was the case in the Seattle series, although the way the Mariners swung the bats, I'm not sure anything was going to be enough. Big swing and a miss by John. Kind of struggling along now at 184, 4 dingers and 13 RBIs. Blummer mentioned the first major league home run by John Singleton came against these Angels and against Matt Shoemaker.
Shadows may be wreaking a little bit of havoc.
Fastball finds the inside edge. It's 0-2. And John has found himself watching some called strikes recently. He hit just 152 on the recent homestand, 5 for 33. Had 3 ribbies over those 9 games. And 0 for 9 in that Seattle series. And swings and misses down on strikes. So a costly second out. Runners still at the corners, but 2 down from Matt Dominguez.
It was actually a pretty good replay. If you watch it real quick, as Shoemaker went into his glove, he shoved that ball way back into his hand and put three fingers around it for that changeup. Not the nastiest pitch in the world, but when you're facing a guy who's not swinging the bat extremely well and you're trying to get that runner in from third, all you got to do is change speeds a little bit and you're going to get that swing and miss.
Matt Dominguez 0 for his last 5, and now that throw over to first has picked off George Springer. So Shoemaker doesn't even have to face Dominguez with the 2 runners aboard. He gets the pick off. That does it for Houston. An inning squandered here in the first. in the first inning. In fact, without anybody being retired, but failed to score in that inning, and George Springer eventually picked off to end things for Houston. That starting lineup for the Angels tonight: Colin Cowgill gets the start in right field. He's followed by Player of the Month in June, Mike Trout in center. At first base, Albert Pujols. Middle three, Josh Hamilton in left. At second, Howie Kendrick and Eric Ibar as the shortstop. And the bottom three, the DH, C.J. Cron, David Freese at third, and the catcher is Chris Iannetta.
On the mound for the Houston Astros, getting a chance to work himself back into that rotation, making his 11th start, Brett Oberholzer. Win-loss record isn't going to dazzle you, but I think he's pitched pretty well. You saw earlier in the game, earlier in our open, that we saw that he's 2-0 in his last 3 starts, has a great ERA. I thought he did a great job against that Detroit Tiger lineup that was all right-handed hitters. Did a good job. It tells you how well he can pitch with that changeup when you go up against that many right-handed hitters and do as well as he did in 6th and 3rd, only giving up 1 earned run.
He has a very good change, and he has been heard to say at times that he feels that's his best pitch. But he also has to spot that fastball, and he's done it well in recent starts. Had his struggles early on in the season. Colin Cowgill hitting .287, has some pop with 5 dingers. Angels primarily getting their home runs out of a couple of players this year, and those are easy to figure out: Mike Trout and Albert Pujols. The Angels have been a good offensive club, and that doesn't surprise many people. The fact that they've pitched quite well this year has surprised quite a few. Off-speed pitch in the dirt, strikeout follows, and the out recorded at first base, so a strikeout for Obi to start the night. Before the break, George Springer was picked off at first base, and that's it.
Well, you can see the shadows of the sun creeping through some of the concourse here in Anaheim. But George looked like he was standing straight up, getting his head in the shade so he'd be able to see the pitcher a little bit better. But for whatever reason, the reaction was not where he'd want it to be. Not sure if he was focused in on the pitcher, but not even close at first base.
Well, here in Anaheim, George Springer may not want to get on stop at first base, maybe is the way to put it, because he was picked off here the last time the Astros were in town, and that was a pickoff to end the ball game. And it looked at the time like Springer might miss a lot of time, but he came back a couple of days later after missing 2 games and got red hot. Part of a road trip that moved on through Seattle and Kansas City. Line shot past John Singleton. Solid base hit from Mike Trout. A 1-out single has speed aboard for Albert Pujols.
Swinging a hot bat. Singleton almost in the right spot, playing halfway in between first and second base.
And again, Mike Trout, the player of the month in the American League for the month of June, a month that saw Jose Altuve just flat tear it up. And maybe a lot of...
Well, if Altuve tore it up, what did Mike Trout do?
Well, he had a very good month. There's no question. Adrian Beltre had a very good one as well. Not to say the votes were not justified, but I think the name Mike Trout probably catches attention. And when the voters are coming up with their votes, and you can see the numbers.
Mile on base, batting average. Pretty impressive. And I know that a lot of people these days are looking at that OPS. I know Mike Trout's was off the charts for that month of June. But still, I think Altuve, for me, would have been the guy. 9 more hits.
You can see the runs scored by Trout, and that might have carried some weight. Altuve with the 17 bags to 5.
Put Altuve in the Anaheim lineup and see what happens. He probably scores 35.
Yeah, man, very likely. Obi throws over to first base. Mike Trout, excellent speed, though he has cut down on that running game considerably from a couple of years ago. When he came up in 2012, he stole 49 bags and was caught just 5 times. He came up in late April, second in the MVP voting that year. In fact, he was second last year. Pitch inside on Pujols. 2-1 the count. Albert has put up some decent numbers this year, but they're not Pujols-like numbers. 17 home runs, 50 runs driven in.
17 home runs matches what he had all of last year.
Yep. So he's healthy this year, and it's showing up in the home run category. A drive down the right field side, but Slice is foul at the line. Count evens at 2-2. But back to Mike Trout in the stolen base game. Just 10 stolen bases this year. Has not been caught, however.
Probably a little more selective in the situations that he runs in. I know that there's a lot of concern in that Angels dugout about how hard this guy plays. Maybe trying to tone him down a little bit. That's going to be tough to do when you got such talent like that out there on the base paths. He can create situations all on his own.
Big man with great speed. Ground ball foul outside of third. Mike Trout is maybe more and more becoming that home run guy who steals an occasional bag, but also hits well over 300. One surprising number that I have found on Albert Pujols is that he's only led his league in RBIs one time in his career. That was 2010 with the Cardinals. He hits one sharply past Dominguez into left field. Solid base hit. Knocks by Trout and Pujols, and the Angels making something happen with one out here in the first inning.
It's that fastball from Obi. Tried to set him up with that breaking ball earlier. He fouled down the left field line. Tried to come back with that fastball. But at 91, it kind of flattens out over the zone, and hitters are hitting .385 against that fastball this season.
So with one out, Josh Hamilton, the cleanup man, stands in. He's hit in 4 straight. Hamilton has spent a big chunk of his season on the DL, and you would think that would have hurt the Angels quite a bit, and it may have. But they still, again, are just 3.5 games back of the Oakland A's in the American League West. A division that now, with the Angels playing well and Seattle showing what they've been showing recently, maybe the toughest division in the American League. Boy, has he turned it around against left-hand hitter pitchers this year. Last year, at times, it felt like almost an automatic out. But now over 400 against the lefties. And an 0-2 count.
Yeah, I'd say jumping 200 points. It's a pretty good turnaround.
Doubling that batting average. Hamilton has played in only 35 games this year.
Just getting warmed up.
Still has 5 dingers. He's driven in 21. Lays off the slider. It's 1-2. The Astros had back-to-back hits to start things in the top of this first inning, but failed to score. And now the Angels trying to make them pay, but Hamilton waves weakly. He's down on strikes. Hamilton maybe trying to plead his case of possibly making contact, but not going to win out. Second strikeout now for Obi.
Yeah, I really didn't see much contact on that. And if there was, we're going to take a look at who behind Brett Oberholzer is going to be helping him out. Enrique Hernandez out there in left field. Kike. Alex Presley in center. George Springer in right. Around the infield, Domingo, Margot, Jose Altuve, John Singleton at first base, and Jason Castro behind the plate.
And now Howie Kendrick stands in, the fine second baseman for the Halos. His numbers have dropped off since the Astros last saw the Angels. But here's a line shot into center field. Third hit in the inning. Trout will score easily, stopping at second as Pujols. It's a 1-0 LA lead on a Kendrick RBI single.
You hang it, he'll bang it. Just fluttered right down the middle of the plate. Pretty easy decision for Howie Kendrick to make. Nice piece of hitting going on that first pitch.
Runners at first and second now with 2 down for Eric Ibar, the shortstop. And he's had a nice season. Ibar hitting .277 quietly and very capably man's shortstop for the Angels. Ibar fouls it on the first base side. A routine base hit may not score Albert Pujols.
Ibar's getting, that's what I was just looking up right there. Good job, boys. 42 RBIs, leads all shortstops. That'd be second on the Houston Astros. That's pretty good numbers. 6 bombs.
Hits it in the air, right center field. Springer going back and over. He'll make the catch. That'll do it for the Halos in the first inning. But they get 3 hits and score a run against Brett Oberholzer. It's 1-0 Angels.
Top of the second. Make sure if you're watching the game, follow along with Astros in-game live, where you can follow the action like never before with an enhanced Bloomberg stats. Plus, make sure you vote for player of the game. The winner will be revealed during Astros post-game live. That's on csnhouston.com, Astros in-game live. Guys.
Thank you, Julia. 1-0 Angels. We played one. Matt Dominguez now leads off for the Astros in the second inning. He was at the plate with a couple of runners aboard, first and third, 2 down, but George Springer, the runner at first, was picked off in the first inning. Matt Dominguez 0 for his last 5, takes a strike. Matty D with 11 bombs on the year, driving in 38. Hits it in the air, right center field. Gliding to his left is Trout, back near the track and makes the catch. 1 up, 1 down here in the second. Brings up Chris Carter, who gets a rare start here in recent times. He's 0 for his last 15.
Yeah, but he's got Shoemaker in his book. Hopefully some of that familiarity will come into play here. He's got a home run off him.
Carter takes a strike. Carter's had 9 home runs against the Angels over his career, so there's a lot of that going on.
Might be another reason.
And now has an 0-2 count. Carter's last hits came on June 24th against Atlanta. He was 2 for 3 in that game. Since then, he's taken an 0 for 3 and 3 0 for 4s. And the strikeouts have been mounting. Slider line down the left field side. This is going to break that 0 for 15. Up against the wall. It'll be a 1-out double for Chris Carter.
Well, Just has to play against the Angels and the Mariners, and he'll be fine.
You going to relay that down to the dugout?
I don't think I have to. I think that everybody there knows it. All kind of tailed back into the barrel of Chris Carter. He took advantage of it.
Double number 12 for Chris. He's at second. One out for Alex Presley, who's 0 for his last 7. Drawn in on the third base side is David Freese. Shoemaker brings it and misses. Very close on Presley. Alex hitting .245 for the club, 4 long balls. Matt Shoemaker, one of those rookie pitchers, he has only a couple of guys with more wins than him among the rookies this year. Masahiro Tanaka with the Yankees, who has 11. Tanaka's actually lost a couple in a row. He's now 11-3. And Roenis Elias, who has 7 wins. Right-hander comes set. 3-0 the count on Presley. Kike Hernandez waits on deck. Presley generally takes his time getting out of the box and getting back in. Outfield shades toward left a bit, and it's 3-1 now on Alex. Maybe surprisingly, right-hand batters recently going 9 for 13 with 3 extra base hits against Shoemaker. And the fact that he shut the Astros down in that first inning just falls in line with what he's done. 9 career starts and not a single first inning run allowed. And now 3-2 on Presley. Shoemaker 2-0 against the American League West this year. Just 3-2 against the rest of the league. Down on strikes, there's that changeup. That splitter just stays up, and Shoemaker has already thrown a few of these, but keeps having a swing and a miss as a result.
Looks to have pretty good arm action. I think that's why right-handers may be swinging the bat pretty well off him. He maybe doesn't have quite as an effective split because it looks like it's kind of diving away from lefties and into right-handed hitters.
Kike Hernandez stands in. His name is Enrique Hernandez, but he goes by Kike. K-I-K-E. Fun guy. And he takes a strike. Looks like he knows what he's doing at the plate. Got a double in his first major league at bat. In his second game then, he got a start and he homered. In fact, he was 2 for 2 in that first game when he came in late. Second base his primary position, but as Blummer mentioned, he plays all over the place. There's the splitter. 0-2 the count.
Talking to Mark Langston, who does the radio for the Angels, said that that's the pitch. If he has that pitch working for him, it's going to be a good day for Shoemaker. And that was a pretty nasty one to throw to a guy who's swinging the bat pretty well right now.
And again, Shoemaker, and I think it's noteworthy, not drafted in his final year in college, but went on and played collegiate summer ball and got signed by the Angels, and he's made the most of it. And that's tough when you're not one of the big draft picks. A lot of times you get overlooked in the minor leagues, even if you are performing well. Might be the story a bit for Kike Hernandez. Hernandez, you just didn't hear his name. He's now 22 years of age. He was drafted by the Astros in the 6th round in 2009. And those guys tend to bounce around. but swinging the bat terrifically this year. Down on strikes. So Shoemaker has picked up 3 strikeouts through 2 innings. He's also allowed 3 hits, but the Astros failed to get on the board.
Brett Oberholzer goes back to work, making his 3rd stint in the majors this season. He started in that starting rotation and then was optioned down, but he's been in this situation before, coming up for a guy who's maybe dealing with an injury and then being sent back down. And I asked him mentally, how are you handling all this? And he said, no, it's not easy, but I've gotten better at it. He did this a little bit last year. It's just a lot of unknown for Obi. All he can concentrate on is what he's doing on the mound, guys.
Thanks, Julia. And it's got to be tough as the first pitch here in the 2nd inning, driven down the right field side, but a fine running grab just at the warning track by George Springer. That's C.J. Cron who drives it, the DH. And 1 pitch, 1 out in the 2nd inning.
Nice knowing that that young man is out there in right field. Got the legs to cover the ground. Makes what could have been a double a pretty easy play. That's the chagrin of Angel fans.
He can go get him, no question about it. Any direction. David Freese, the 8-hitter, now stands in. Freese has had a bit of a puzzling year, hitting just .240. Angels picked him up, and no doubt he figured to be the everyday third baseman. He takes the pitch. It's a ball and a strike. Big hero in the postseason, the World Series in particular, a few years back for the Cardinals. Ground ball back up the middle. That's going to find a hole into center field. 1-out single for Freese will bring up the 9-hitter, Chris Iannetta.
Good pitch on the off speed by David Freese. And we look at a breakdown last year when Oberholzer was pitching so well. He was doing a great job of establishing that fastball. You see 62% of the time he was throwing that fastball. Doing a great job of painting it both inside, outside corners, setting up the off speed for him. This year a little bit heavy on those off speed pitches, maybe pitching with that beforehand. Wondering if teams may be sitting on that fastball or he just doesn't have the confidence in it. And we see what he did last start with only 44% of those pitches being fastballs, but did a great job against that Detroit Tiger right-handed hitting lineup. And that may have affected the usage also, having that many righties in the lineup.
There's the fastball at 89, missing away. Over the last 3 starts, Oberholzer 2-0 with a 186 earning. So he's been really good. Kind of living on pins and needles, though. Off speed has a strike. Chris Iannetta has hit safely in his last 3. The Astros have only scored 26 runs in 10 starts for Obi this year. 1-2 the count, and that figure ties Obi with Hector Santiago for the worst run support of any American League pitcher, with at least 10 starts on the season. So the offense has been cruel to Obi, but again in recent starts doing his job. Sweeps that slider. It's 2-2. Iannetta, the catcher, shares duties with Hank Conger. Hitting .278 against left-hand pitching.
Good grief. Let's go, Chris.
Pace of the game get too much for Iannetta?
I think so. Got mind lock up there.
Ground ball left side, 2 hops for Dominguez. On to Altuve and back to Singleton, and they'll get the double play. 5-4-3. And that will do it for the Angels. They get a hit but fail to score a run in the second. It's 1-0 Halos.
Special couple of days for Kike Hernandez, who made his major league debut 2 days ago, but hit his first career home run yesterday. He's talking here about that home run with our Geico quote of the game.
As soon as I hit the ball, I wasn't so sure if it was going to go, because, I mean, it's my second game there, but as soon as it went, I was just, like, trying not to smile and stuff, but I had so many butterflies in my stomach. It was just an awesome feeling.
He is on top of the world right now, guys. Talking about the security in the ballpark as far as road traveling with the team being legit. He won't stop smiling. It's great.
He looks like he might be legit with the bat. Time will tell, but the Astros, for the moment, have a guy swinging it well. Marwin Gonzalez also has been swinging the long ball bat recently. A couple of home runs against Seattle. This is Kike's dinger yesterday.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say if you were talking with him in the clubhouse, the story might be a little bit different. He's like, oh, yeah, I crushed it. I knew I got all of it. He doesn't want to tell us that.
Yeah.
But I'm sure internally, as he was running down, you can see the little bat flip that kind of told you, yeah, I got that one pretty good. But I appreciate the humility in the young man.
Bites his nails like Altuve. That might be a good sign.
Not used to those big league spreads yet.
1-2 on Marwin, who takes inside. Marwin, the 9th hitter for the Astros here tonight. And that first pass through the order for Matt Shoemaker has seen the hitters with just a .206 batting average. So he's been really good the first time through. The Astros had base hits from Altuve and Castro to start the game, but then it went south. Fielder's choice grounded into by Springer on a sharply hit ball. A great play by Ibar at short. And now a full count. Singleton then struck out on that splitter. And then a pickoff of George Springer. And again, the second time that Springer has been picked off at first base here at Angel Stadium. Kind of hard to figure what goes on sometimes. Like ghosts are around for players.
Yikes.
You don't want that.
No.
There's ball 4. Marwin Gonzalez draws the walk. He gets it started here in the third inning, brings up Jose Altuve.
The Astros face off against the Boston Red Sox in a 3-game series, July 11th through the 13th at Minute Maid Park. Be really upset if you don't show up, so don't miss Boston's only trip to Minute Maid Park this season. For tickets to the Red Sox series, call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit Astros.com. You're going to have to answer to Big Papi. Who wouldn't want to go ask that nice man for an autograph? Seems perfectly affable.
John Farrell, the skipper of the Red Sox, is a big man, but I have a feeling he wasn't going to have a chance against Papi if he really wanted to go. Altuve at the plate, 1 for 1. A little slow roller on the left side, just to the left of Freese, who went to his knees and couldn't make the play. And one of those surprising at-bats for Altuve, who took a couple of strikes right there to start things. Boston Red Sox have had a miserable season this year. They're 8.5 back, and I don't know, do they have a chance in that topsy-turvy American League East?
Nope.
You see no shot for them?
I really don't.
Who do you see winning that division?
Oh, man, I want to see the Blue Jays. I'd like to see that offense do something in the postseason. Of course, for them, it's all up to pitching. Got a great bullpen. If they keep those starters healthy.
Mark Burley's had a great year. Joey Bats, Jose Bautista, and Edwin Encarnacion, the big boys in the order. And they lead in home runs in the American League, but watch out, the Orioles are coming along.
I guess I have to root for them because I picked them.
Altuve on the breaking ball swings through it. It's a ball and a strike. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if the Orioles found a way, but they're going to need some pitching, I would think.
Yeah.
Orioles just 1 game back of the Blue Jays. You turn to the American League Central. It's the Tigers now by 4.5 in front of Kansas City. Seems like not long ago the Royals were actually in first place. Breaking ball hit in the air, left field and fairly deep. Hamilton going back. It is deep. One hop up against the wall. Into third, and holding there is Marwin Gonzalez on a double by Jose Altuve. The Astros have runners at second and third and nobody out. And Altuve 2 for 2 on his night. And that's 120 hits on the year now for Jose.
Dude can hit. That's that splitter that comes back to the right-handed hitter. And the pitch before, Altuve took kind of a funky swing at one of those pitches. But what's fun in watching Altuve's at-bats is he's adjusting pitch by pitch. If he hasn't seen a guy too often or he hasn't seen a pitch, you can't throw it to him twice. He's going to make the adjustment and hammer it. This ball came back to him. You got to try and bust him in there with something a little more firm than a changeup.
26 doubles on the year for Jose. He is a phenomenon. Jason Castro at the plate, lined a single into right field in the first inning, so he's 1 for 1. Nobody out. The Astros trying to get back even and then some here in the third inning. Castro takes a strike at the knees. The doubles leader in the American League is Miguel Cabrera. He has 30. Jose Altuve is right behind, 4 back of Cabrera with the 26. And that's all alone in second place now in the league. 120 hits, leading the major leagues. Pitch on the hands is fouled back. 0-2 the count. Altuve with the 2 hits tonight, now hitting .347 as he extends his lead in the American League. Altuve started the night at .343. Adrian Beltre was second in the American League at .335. Not to the All-Star break yet, but what a tremendous first half for Jose. Ground ball is foul. Having watched him recently, it's hard to imagine, I would think, anyway, for you as well, Blummer, that Altuve is going to slow down to any great extent.
I think we would have seen him slow down if he was. It's not too often you see guys get hot for a month like this. But I just don't see the way he approaches a game. I mean, just the way he hangs around the game tells me that he's going to work his tail off to continue this path that he's on.
Well, I get the impression watching Jose Altuve that there is nothing that he enjoys more than playing this game. It's been amazing watching what he's done.
It really has. That's why I say it's fun to watch his at-bats, because he's adjusting pitch to pitch. That's how good he is feeling right now in the box.
Ground ball right side, diving stop. Pujols can't come up with it. It's a base hit for Castro. RBI single that plates Marwin Gonzalez into third base Altuve. It's a 1-1 game.
Second hit for Jason Castro out of that 2-hole. Hot spot for the Houston Astros. Picking up where Altuve left off. Right here, Artie Moreno's holding his breath right there, watching Albert Pujols lay out for that one.
RBI number 33 for Jason. Runners at the corners, still nobody out. A run in, George Springer at the plate. Big swing and a foul tip. Springer stung one in the first inning, a one-hopper to Ibar's right, but he backhanded it and got it out at second base. Springer able to leg out the try for the double play. One and one the count on Springer. Of course.
Well, I'm sorry, that's what the Astros are trying to do right now. They got through that first time through the lineup. Now that second time, you see that split a little more often. You adjust to it. Now it's up to Shoemaker to make the adjustment and mix those pitches up a little bit.
Sharply hit ground ball, gloved by Freese at third. He'll get an out at second. That's all he'll get. It'll be an RBI fielder's choice, enabling Springer to reach. Altuve scores, and the Astros go on top 2-1. But Springer's been picked twice on the night.
Guess he's got something to show for it this time. RBI on that one. Nothing to be discouraged about. The second hard hit ball off the bat of George Springer. And if it wasn't for a great play by David Freese, might have had himself a base hit and an RBI. Still appreciate the hustle from George Springer, beating out that double play ball and extending this inning by another out.
44 RBIs now for Springer, who leads the club. The Astros getting off to a nice start against Matt Shoemaker. John Singleton at the plate, 0 for his last 10 now as he struck out in the first inning.
Hope he went back upstairs and watched video of that home run he hit off Shoemaker. Try and relive some of that excitement. See it, believe it.
That was June 3rd for John. This ball pushes Singleton off the plate.
Time now for the AT&T rewind. And that's that home run on June 3rd. He knew it. Fastball over that outer third. The man likes to get extended. Ball crushed. Everybody realizing the importance of that first home run.
Pops one to the seats.
I think Angel fans over the years have seen a swing like that in that same batter's box.
Reggie Jackson might be the guy.
Man, down to that one knee, trying to unleash the fury.
I like the way he attacks the baseball.
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? I don't want to see somebody up there passive and unsure of themselves. If you see a pitch you want to hit, let it go.
Runner goes from first. It's a swing and a miss and a stolen base for George Springer. for Springer. That's his 4th stolen base in 6 tries. Starting to pick up a few now.
Good pitch to run on, too. Saw the numbers earlier in the game against Shoemaker and Iannetta. Easy combo to run on according to the numbers. But running on that split finger is going to make it a little bit easier for Springer to get out there.
And now the umpires are going to confer. And you have a feeling, is this about this Singleton's swing and possible interference?
I'm sure that's what Mike Scioscia is thinking about. He's out in front of the dugout wondering if his backswing maybe interfered with what Iannetta was trying to do as far as catching and throwing. Watch the backswing. It's not necessarily the first swing, but right about there. May have tapped the glove a little bit. You can see Iannetta's reaction. Watch Iannetta. There's contact, and he's looking back at the home plate umpire. They're going to send him back to first.
So there goes stolen base number 4 for Springer. And now Bo Porter's going to come out and ask for clarification.
Got to give credit to the umpires, too, for recognizing that, getting together as a group and understanding that, yes, in fact, that play actually happened.
I like what replay has done in multiple directions this year. And I think it's made the umpires more aware of, let's try to get it right one way or the other.
Well, we really haven't seen that situation where a manager comes out and the umpire's like, nope, I made the call, go back in the dugout. You know, there hasn't been that confrontation. Right. The umpires have actually said, okay, we'll take that under consideration. Let me talk to my boys, and then we'll figure it out from there. So that's a good sign.
So Springer back at first. Still just 1 out here in the inning.
Safe. All right.
Back in safely is Springer.
Step in the right direction.
I think that's a mock call on your part. Yeah, Springer has definitely had issues at first base here in Anaheim. There he goes. The pitch, a ball, the throw down, a good one, but not in time. The throw is dropped by Ibar. So now stolen base number 4 appears to be official. And it's good to see George Springer start to steal some bags. He went quite a while there where he simply didn't try to run at all.
Yeah, that's a tool we read about when he was down in the minor leagues. Now we actually get a chance to see it on the big league level, and I'm with you, Ash. I'd like to see it a little more often. Got the league's best stolen base stealer in the dugout. Talk to him and pick his brain a little bit.
Jose Altuve, and by a wide margin with Altuve. 3-2 the count now on John Singleton. Well, the speed of Springer says, you know, he should steal a lot of bags. I don't know how tough that might be on his body over the long haul.
Well, that goes to what we were talking about Mike Trout earlier, too,
yeah.
is maybe they're trying to pull the reins back on him, too. Cut down on some of the injury possibilities with diving into bases. Good AB.
Singleton draws the walk. That'll put runners at first and second. Again, just 1 out. Matt Dominguez comes to the plate.
Good take on a 3-2 count from a young hitter like Singleton on that split finger from Shoemaker. Sometimes guys want to get a little aggressive with runners in scoring position, go out there and try and do a little too much, but a good AB. Just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller Time later in today's game, brought to you by the one and only Miller Lite.
This game is not speeding along, but then the Astros have played a lot of long games recently. When you mention that to the broadcasters with the Angels, they will lay the same claim out there. Baseball has just seemingly started to become a slower paced game. Matt Dominguez flied to center field, his first at bat, takes the slider away.
Well, cheer up, you got C.J. Wilson going tomorrow.
I said that with a big smile on my face.
Notoriously slow worker and throws a lot of pitches.
1 ball and no strikes. Good swing by Matt. He pops it on the left side, coming over near the seats, Freeze. And now Ibar there as well. And this one drifts back about 2 or 3 rows.
Got that high stress inning going. The Astros on Shoemaker. 27 pitches thus far. You can see some of these pitches out of Shoemaker's hand hanging a little bit too.
Even a couple of the strikeouts. That splitter's been up in the zone.
That is true. But Astro hitters that second time around are starting to lay off some of those.
The inning started by Marwin Gonzalez as he drew a walk. He came around and scored the first Houston run to tie the game. Jose Altuve doubled right up at the base of the wall in left field. Gonzalez got only to third base on that play. Jason Castro infield single to drive in a run. George Springer robbed a bit by Freese at third base, fielder's choice. RBI number 44 for George, and Singleton with the walk. Spin move towards second base. Nothing doing there. 1-2 the count on Matty D. Dominguez with 4 lifetime home runs against the Angels. He's hit .255 against Halo pitching. Starts the bat now. A snap throw down to first base. Back in is Singleton. That might have been a preset play. Pujols breaking toward the bag.
Yeah, those typically are. Usually they catch the catcher maybe flipping some dirt towards the first base side. Catch Albert's attention. Maybe he tips his cap and says, yeah, let's do it next pitch.
2-2 on Dominguez. And it stays at 2-2.
Matty D's taken 3 pretty good passes at pitches from Shoemaker.
Matt Dominguez hit 21 home runs a year ago, driving in 70-70. He's at 11 in terms of the home runs right now, so probably dead on that pace. The Astros past the 1/2 the way mark, though they haven't gotten to the All-Star game yet. Game number 87. Ball hit sharply at Pujols. He'll get an out at second, and they'll return to the pitcher covering at first and get the double plays. 3-6-1. And that'll do it for Houston in the 3rd inning. They pick up 2 runs on a couple of hits and leave a man. It's 2-1 Houston.
For the Angels, and time for you to tweet your photos using hashtag CSNHFanPhoto for a chance to be shown in an upcoming game broadcast. That's brought to you by AT&T. Guys.
Thanks, Julia. 2-1 Astros on top. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. For the Angels, top of the order against left-hander Brett Oberholzer, it'll be Cowgill, Trout, and Pujols. Obi struck out Cowgill back in the first inning. Oberholzer with a couple of strikeouts on the night. He's also gotten a double play turn behind him. That started by Matt Dominguez to end the second inning. And the Angels with 3 hits in that first pass through the order. First pitch from Obi, in for a strike, the changeup at 80. Cowgill hitting .286, hits it on a hop to third base, drawn in as Dominguez, and the first out of the inning.
Help send Jose Altuve and Dexter Fowler to this year's All-Star game at Target Field in Minnesota. Vote online at Astros.com. Voting ends tonight at midnight. Vote often and vote Astros. Should be a pretty easy choice right there.
Seems like there would be no begging required there. He has been as good as they come. As some people have mentioned, is Altuve the MVP in the American League right now? Probably not. But the numbers for what he is capable of doing, just spectacular. Mike Trout is a guy who's going to draw attention once again in terms of MVP voting. We mentioned that he's been number 2 in the voting each of the last 2 years. Let's see, I wonder who won that award each of the last 2 years. Oh yeah, Miguel Cabrera, who is one of the great hitters, really slots in among the great hitters of all time. Mike Trout in his first couple of full years in the big leagues, and really that first one not even a complete full year, he has been something. Had a single, solid shot to right field in the first, and now takes one close. It's 2-1. Jason Castro turns, and you could see maybe asking a question of the home plate umpire. That's Paul Nauert tonight. Other umpires at first, Angel Hernandez, Adrian Johnson at second, and Larry Vanover at third. Trout offers on that changeup below the knees.
Maybe we should be talking about the number 27 and what it means to hitting.
What does 27 mean?
Well, if you combine the 2 number 27s on the field today, there would be some monstrous numbers between those guys.
Okay, so you got 2 of them, no doubt.
Yeah.
A little flare shot down the right side by Trout. It's 2-2 on Mike, and now he'll get a new bat.
Just ruined Wonder Boy.
Did you happen to see how the voting wound up in the Player of the Month award for June? Did Altuve finish second, or
I'm not entirely sure.
was the voting, I wonder, even further off base? You are supposed to have that ready second bat all set to come to the plate. Mike Trout enabled to put a little pine tar rosin, stick him on the handle.
Boy, the first time he's broken a bat in about 45 games.
Yeah.
It's a bad company's dream.
He's been quite well balanced. 305 hitting at home this year. 316 on the road. He's one of those guys that, for whatever reason, doesn't hit all that well in day games. At least this year, hitting just 267.
That's a quality sombrero right there.
Is that your Trout?
If I was guessing, I'd say yes.
Yeah, it looks like some kind of serpent in the head there.
The days of salmon are gone.
3-2 the count. Tim Salmon, former outfielder with the Angels. Boy, they really missed something, a little marketing opportunity
back
with those two not playing together.
It's all about timing.
And he was a heck of a player.
Yeah, he was.
3-2 pitch to Trout. Ground ball over the bag at third and down the left field line. Extra bases for Mike Trout. He's into second. He'll take a turn and hold there. It's a 1-out double for Trout. He's 2 for 2 on the game. Just amazing when you watch this guy play. That's 23 doubles for Trout.
just does a good job of staying on this changeup down in the zone. It's a good spot, not an awful pitch. Sometimes good hitters can stay on those changeups and hit them where they ain't. There's a couple of guys in the bats pretty well. If you ever needed a campfire to start, you just rub those two guys together.
I can't, yeah. Okay.
Oh, your hitting shoes look pretty good. How do your hitting shoes look?
Yeah, those guys don't need to rub on each other, that's for sure. Gonna bring up Albert Pujols, who singled in the first inning. So don't forget about Trout at second. Altuve's playing close to the bag. Looked like Altuve, as Oberholzer looked back to second base, Altuve kind of flipped the right hand toward the plate like, go ahead and pitch. I'm in a good spot. You don't have to worry about me. Two very different sizes of men there, but two guys that are doing things others can't do. Line drive left field coming on and sliding the diving play to get the out. And now the double play presented. Firing into second base is Hernandez. Kike Hernandez has just made a gem and turns it into a double play. And that'll do it for the Angels in the third inning. That double by Trout erased on the double play. It's 2-1. Astros lead it. Good part thanks to a terrific play defensively by Kike Hernandez, and then turns it into a double play helping Brett Oberholzer, and this is the play.
It's not too often you see a possible base hit RBI turned into a double play with a guy like Mike Trout at second base, but Kike surprised everybody with a great play out there in the left.
Can't get enough Kike, can you?
No, you can't, but you get a good idea. Mike Trout had his head down and expected that Kike would have no shot at catching that one.
Chris Carter leads it off here in the fourth. Carter had a double right down the left field side, a line shot. That his 12th two-bagger on the year. That came in the second inning. But he wound up being stranded at second base. That was a one-out two-bagger. 2-2 the count on Carter. The Astros have the #1 strikeout victim in the American League. It's not Chris Carter, but Carter does pick up a strikeout here. First out in the fourth inning, and the fourth strikeout of the night for Shoemaker.
Smart pitching by Shoemaker. He swings at it, go a little bit further and see if he swings at it again, and Chris Carter did.
George Springer is that guy leading the league in strikeouts. Carter starts the night in 5th place. Jason Castro 8th. 3 guys in the top 8 now in the American League in strikeouts. Alex Presley, first pitch swinging, drives one to right center. Easy play for Cowgill, and 2 down in the 4th. Kike Hernandez comes in. He struck out to end the 2nd inning. Kike, and we've talked about it, he is a guy who's played all over the place defensively. Kind of one of those guys who may be forced to do that. And again, not a high draft pick. But he has shown here this evening that he can make a fine play in left field. Takes a ball up and in.
You know what it tells me is he's a pretty athletic kid.
Little chopper foul. Yep.
You got to be able to play a bunch of different positions. It tells me he's got a good head on his shoulders, but also great athleticism to be able to move to those other positions, because charging in on a fly ball like he just did is not an easy thing to do, having grown up an infielder.
Takes it low. It's 2-1. And again, second base is his main position. But second base is the spot he's not going to have a chance to play here in Houston. So can the Astros find a way to insert his bat in the lineup? They're trying right now. Gets a start in left field. He is DH'd for the club. Bo Porter and Dave Tremblay among those, no doubt, that get their heads together and try to figure out how do you get Kike Hernandez in the lineup on a nightly basis. The 2-2. Bat starts, but he gets it held back. You could see Paul Nauert, the home plate umpire, glancing right up toward that bat. And Kike draws the walk. It comes with 2 outs, brings up Marwin Gonzalez. That's the 3rd walk issued by Shoemaker.
He's got a bit of an unorthodox stance too. That front leg of him really turned in with quite a bit of torque. Gets that front foot out there early, but everybody has their triggers, everybody has their comfort, and for Kike it's that front leg turned way in, almost pointing the heel at the pitcher.
So Hernandez aboard with 2 down. Marwin at the plate. He walked and scored in the 3rd inning. That was the first Houston run of the night. Hits it in the air, left center field. Coming on hard is Trout. He stays on his feet for the moment to make the catch and then lays out. But a heck of a play by Mike Trout. We've seen a couple of gems in the outfield. It's 2-1 Houston after 3.5.
And this season at Minute Maid Park, every Friday night home game is followed by spectacular fireworks presented by Marathon Oil Corporation. The next Friday night fireworks, July 11th, after the Astros play the Red Sox. Get your tickets at 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com. Hey, guys, to carry over the conversation about Kike Hernandez and his great catch, I caught up with him before the game about playing in left field. He actually got here early just to take some fly balls out there, get comfortable, and take balls off the wall, too, to see how this park would play today. Not too nervous. He actually feels pretty comfortable in the outfield, playing 13 games in AAA, but definitely wanted to just get comfortable here on the big league level. And, man, he looked comfortable earlier today.
Yeah, it's good to hear. Thanks, Julia. Josh Hamilton at the plate. Cleanup man swings through it. It's 0-2. Hamilton struck out against the lefty Oberholzer in the first inning.
That's great news. Young kid like that wanting to get out early.
Weak swing, little tapper back to the screen. Yeah, and you wonder, even if he gets 10 games in a row in left field, might he still be coming out and getting that extra work with each new ballpark?
Having played at least 6 different positions, I guess, on a major league field, I was always
fly ball center field. Should be easy, as coming in to make the play is Presley, and out number 1.
I was always adamant about getting out there early and knowing some of the features of the ballpark, having played some of these corner positions like Kike is tonight here in Anaheim. It's one thing to get used to it at your home ballpark, but you go on the road and then you got to play someplace foreign. You got to get out there early and see these places. And what I would do on days I knew I was playing and I was in the lineup, I would go take ground balls at that specific spot or fly balls if I had to. But on those days where I wasn't playing, I would rotate all around the infield during BP and take ground balls at least at every spot across the infield to get ready for those games. It's not an easy job being one of those guys that rotates a lot because you have to work on all those positions.
Howie Kendrick at the plate had an RBI single in the first. Line one to center field with 2 outs, one of those key 2-out run-producing hits. Now, I imagine a lot of people listening are thinking, well, why is it different from ballpark to ballpark, especially maybe on the infield?
Oh, you go from Kikuyu to Bermuda to Kentucky Bluegrass.
Hot shot in the left field. Second hit of the night for Howie Kendrick. A 1-out single brings up Eric Ibar. You sure you're not talking about the PGA?
Well, PGA golfers worry about what turf they're playing on, too. I mean, some of the holes may be a little bit different, but the surface has a lot to do with how you go out there and play the game. And sometimes the cuts on the infield are a little bit different. The actual grass thickness is different. You know, even the cuts around the outfield are a little bit different. But here in Anaheim, particularly, balls down the line tend to have issues. You know, the lips on the infields are going to be a little bit different. You got to get used to where you're going to play. Sometimes the sight lines behind home plate, picking the ball up off the bat's a little bit different. But Anaheim's much like Dodger Stadium that has those rounded corners down the lines, and you see a lot of balls get by guys there.
Pitch fouled back just below Jeff Blum.
And I came here early and I was scouting and I realized that there was a possibility of foul balls here.
And you have no lights to deal with, or were you dealing with that left field bank of lights?
You're taking all my excuses away. You can't do that.
You would have made the play. See, I understand there are no limitations here. Eric Ibar 0 for 1, flied to right field in the first. And talking about the lights, as we see a tapper foul outside third, I would think the lights for outfielders in particular would be something that you can't work on, and you just have to try to imagine maybe what a line drive might look like that gets in the lights.
That's actually a really good point, because during batting practice the lights are not on.
Right.
You may recognize the ball kind of floats through there during BP, but you really take it for granted until those things are shining straight in your face and you lose the ball in it. Unfortunately, that usually happens around right in the middle of the game.
And it's not the high fly balls that give outfielders a tough time. It's those semi-line drives usually.
Those never lead to big innings.
Not much. No, and they're tough on the pitchers too, because anytime that they get a ball hit that they think should be an out, that can really change things. Another base hit into left field, just out of the reach of Marwin Gonzalez. Kike bobbles just a moment, but gets it back in. Couple of 1-out singles, Kendrick and Ibar, brings up C.J. Cron.
The good news is he's getting ground balls. Bad news is being hit pretty hard through this Astro infield. And getting back to playing surfaces, Anaheim is one of those ballparks that cuts their grass relatively low. The dirt's nice and firm. You get good hops, but it is a much quicker infield than maybe Minute Maid plays.
So do you find that even if it's a grass and dirt surface, and that's pretty much what you see everywhere now, that you can find a couple that are really different from each other in terms of being an infielder?
Oh, if you were going on a road trip and you went through Los Angeles, which is a very short infield and very quick, and then end up in Chicago where the grass is incredibly thick, you almost can't even play the same double play depths, or maybe play the same depth at third base where I did most of the time, because some of those hard hit balls, I'd have to play back in LA, but I'd almost have to charge them in Chicago if they've got a couple of hops in that grass.
A beach ball has found its way onto the warning track in right field, and one of the common sights here in Anaheim, Dodger Stadium, in San Diego, I guess the West Coast.
Yep.
In general. Kendrick at second, Ibar at first. Crone drove one down the right field side back to the warning track. George Springer made a nice running grab. Here's a line shot into left field. Coming to the plate is Kendrick. The throw to the plate, not in time. And the runners will hold. RBI single. Crone. We're tied at 2. 1 out, runners at first and second. And now we got a little peek at that throwing arm of Hernandez in left field.
In real time, it almost looked like Crone was swinging underwater, and sometimes you start that swing and you recognize it's going to be off speed, and you kind of slow that swing down a little bit. Did a good job of getting the barrel on it. And yeah, they get a good look at PK's arm out there in left field. It's going to bring Brent Strawn out to have a talk with Obi.
24 RBIs now for C.J. Crone, the DH of the Angels. We're tied at 2 here in the 4th inning. 3 consecutive halo hits. David Freese comes to the plate. He had a base hit in the 2nd inning. And the Angels now already have 8 hits against Brett Oberholzer. Obi allowed just 5 hits in 6 1/3 innings last time out against the Tigers. Only 4 hits in 7 great innings against Baltimore in his previous start. So he's been very effective in recent starts. Tonight the Angels are getting to him. And we have to mention again, the Angels have been a good offensive club this year. Pitch is outside on the right hand, hitting David Freese. Although the Angels have dropped off a bit in some categories, they are still 2nd best in the league in runs per game, trailing only Oakland in that regard. Well spotted. It's a ball and a strike. Top scoring teams in the American League: the Oakland A's, LA Angels, Toronto Blue Jays, and the Detroit Tigers. And I guess no real surprises there. The Angels also have hit their share of home runs. They're just in front of the Astros in that category. Obi close but misses. It's 2-1. Inning started with Josh Hamilton flying to center field, but then 3 consecutive hits: Kendrick, Ibar, and Crone. Angels have plated a run to tie it at 2. Oberholzer trying to get a ground ball and get out of the inning. There's a drive into right center field. Long run, Presley. He won't get there. 1 hop up against the wall. 1 run will score. A second being waved to the plate. The throw on a couple of hops. And the Angels get a 2-run double likely out of David Freese, and now extend it to 4-2. Angels on top here in the 4th inning. Moving into third base on the throw is David Freese. It is a double for Freese, and he moves up on the fielder's choice.
Not bad. You look at the swing and you don't expect the ball to go this far. He kind of had his rear end in the Angel dugout, but as strong as David Freese is, if he gets the barrel on it, he has the ability to drive it. That ball was pretty well struck into that right center field gap.
Infield draws in for the Astros. Scoring all the way from first base was the DH, C.J. Cron. 3 runs in, still 1 out. Freese 90 feet away, and the 9-hitter Chris Iannetta at the plate. He grounded into a 5-4-3 double play in the second. 9 Angels hits. We're just in the 4th inning. A pitch out. So the Astros thinking that Mike Scioscia might consider the bunt with the 9-hitter at the plate.
Nothing happening. It'll be kind of tough. Freese doesn't run very well, but a well-executed squeeze can be quite effective. But 1 out, runner at third base. Leave it up to Chris Iannetta to drive him in somehow.
That went in for a strike. It's 1-1. You wonder if Mike Scioscia had even considered the squeeze in that scenario.
Yeah, I was going to say, more often than not, it's either, you try to tie a game or maybe get that insurance run later in the game. Here in the 4th inning, I'm not sure that would be Mike Scioscia's choice to go to that squeeze.
4 consecutive hits against Oberholzer, and
well, yeah, that's a good point too.
Maybe let the guys swing the bat. 2-1 the count.
How about that? 4 runs tonight, 4 runs in his last 3 starts.
Angels got their other run in the 1st inning, but they have had runners on board in each inning. 2-2 the count.
It's a good pitch. That's the first time we've actually really seen Obi go into that inside corner with the fastball, pretty well located. That's what I remember last year, him doing so effectively, much like Dallas Keuchel does, pitching to that inside corner, enabling them to set up the off speed on the outside corner.
And now 3-2. Leadoff man Colin Cowgill waits on deck. Angels are 4th in the league in team batting average at .261. The Astros are dead last at .235. And we mentioned the runs scored per game. The Astros have fallen back into that last spot. The 3-2 hit in the air to right field. Plenty deep enough. Springer going back to the track, to the wall, leaps and makes a great play defensively. It'll be a sac fly as tagging at third and coming in to score is David Freese. But what a play again by George Springer.
Hitters are getting the barrel on the ball. This one plenty deep enough, like you said, Ash. Wondering how much room George Springer had left, and I'm sure he was too. Timed that jump perfectly. A little extra effort on the roll for our benefit. Good job of sacrificing himself to save what could have been extra base hits.
24 RBIs now for the catcher Chris Iannetta. It's 5-2. The Angels lead it. And the leadoff man bunts one, and it hits the body. He should be called out. He was in fair territory, and that is the case. So Cowgill tries to bunt his way aboard, and he'll be out on the play. That'll do it. But the Angels put 4 on the board and lead 5-2. TXU Energy. Get TXU Energy free nights, free electricity all year long. Now with even more free hours. 1-866-1866. Call TXU. We played 4 innings. The Angels have banged out 9 hits. They put 5 runs on the board against Brett Oberholzer. The Astros have 2 runs against Matt Shoemaker, the right-hander. We go to the 5th inning, top of the order. Jose Altuve comes to the plate. He's 2 for 2, has an infield single and a double. He has scored a run. That double his 26th of the year. Second best in the American League in that category. He lines one into left field. Jose Altuve 3 for 3 on the night. 121 hits on the year, and he just continues to tear it up.
At what point does it get ridiculous? These aren't cheapies either.
Not a bit.
He's not getting broken bat flares. These are rockets all over the place.
6 Houston hits, 3 of those owned by Altuve. It brings up Jason Castro, who has 2 on his own.
He doesn't have to hide behind Albert Pujols anymore. He can step out from his shadow.
Yeah, look at that.
Albert's probably looking at him going, that's the way I used to hit him.
Albert's probably thinking, please, buddy, can you talk to me a little bit? Fly ball. Left center field shallow, coming in as Hamilton to make the catch. Halfway Altuve. He'll get back to the bag at first. George Springer made quite a play in that 4-run inning for the Angels.
Gotta love that fearlessness too. He might have been out here early working on some fly balls and recognizing where that wall is. Knows it's pretty well padded, timed that jump perfectly.
You know, he's had his issues on balls on the ground, but when it's been in the air, he's gone and gotten everything in sight. 1 out, Springer at the plate. Has a big rip. It's 0-1. Springer's hit it sharply twice. A 1-hopper that turned into a fielder's choice in the 1st inning. In the 3rd inning, hit one that he tried to sneak by Freese at third base, but Freese just a little too alert. And that also a fielder's choice, but plated a run. RBI number 44 for Springer. One and one on George. Hit a deep drive to the base of Towles Hill on the recent homestand. Nothing to show for that, but that's one that you have to think as a hitter, well, save that for another ballpark. Breaking ball popped up left side. Freese comes over, but he runs out of room right up on top of that dugout.
Did you just see that?
I think I did.
Well, David Freese in his home ballpark went over to where the dugout railing is and stopped. Didn't go all the way to the camera well railing. I'm not sure if he would have had a chance, but that was interesting to me.
Yeah. Now you wouldn't have let that happen.
No, I would have ran straight into that thing and probably taken my legs out from underneath me and ended up in a photographer's lap.
Springer down on strikes. That's 2 down here in the 5th inning. 5 strikeouts for Shoemaker. Springer now 0 for 3 on the night.
Talk about Oberholzer pitching backwards with his off speed to set up the fastball. That at bat, you got to see Shoemaker do the same thing. Using a split, maybe a hanging breaking ball that Springer had a pretty good pass at, and then with 2 strikes, just pump a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. It looks like about 101.
John Singleton at the plate has struck out and walked. He raced on a double play grounded into by Matt Dominguez in the 3rd inning. Jose Altuve always a threat to run. 37 bags in 40 tries on the year. That one was just a bit up on John. It's a ball and no strikes. And now Chris Iannetta is going to go out to the mound and remind his right-hander that Very seldom have they had this pitch called a strike.
Yeah, sometimes pitchers need to be reminded of those things.
When you talk stolen bases in the American League, and we are, again, Altuve at 37. The next closest, Jacoby Ellsbury at 23. Rajay Davis has 22. But I mean, you get the gist. Altuve way out in front of the league.
In a lot of ways.
Little tapper's foul. It's a ball and a strike. And again, the 3 hits tonight for Jose have him at 121 hits on the season. Pushing that batting average toward 350 now as that breaking ball just misses. 2-1 the count. Chris Iannetta behind the dish. 349 is the current batting average for Jose Altuve, an on-base percentage of 388. Shoemaker relentless with his tosses to first. Has picked off one man tonight. That was George Springer back in the first. Three and one.
Maybe low. Looks like he caught a little bit of the plate, but when you see a catcher move that much, you have a tendency not to get that call.
It's always bothered me with umpires, having been a catcher, that a pitch can find all white, but if it's on the opposite side of the plate from where you set up, you're just not going to get it very often. 3-2 now. That'll put Altuve on the move.
Well, hitters don't get rewarded for doing everything right, hitting the line drive and having it caught. Why should pitchers get the, they miss their spot, they don't get the call?
That's actually a very good point.
Completely biased, too.
Not sure I'll think so in about 5 minutes from now, but right now I like it. Down on strike, Singleton. Second time tonight, and that'll do it for Houston in the 5th inning. 6 strikeouts for Shoemaker. It's 5-2 Angels. Of insurance. 3 more with the Angels as the Astros are in town here this 4th of July weekend through Sunday. 3 coming up in Arlington with the Rangers to conclude this road trip, and then back home to the Boston Red Sox as we get ready for the All-Star break.
Get Brownie out on the road there in Texas.
Yeah, Brownie's going to make a little jaunt that way. You will stay back here and keep ensuring that the beach and the waves and everything are in good shape on the West Coast.
Yeah, rumor has it there's a swell coming in.
Mike Trout is standing in. He's 2 for 2 on the night, has singled and doubled, has scored a run, doing what Mike Trout does. Flares one down the right field side. This is seeing George Springer come on. A terrific jump in right field. George Springer just didn't have a problem with this one at all.
As soon as Trout hit it, I just assumed it was a hit.
I did the same thing.
Threw my hands up like, really?
Yep. It looked like one of those little flares where a right fielder just never has a shot.
Really good pitch getting on the hands of Mike Trout.
You know, Springer didn't bite on the swing at all. He was coming in immediately. That's one out. Brings up the 3-hitter Albert Pujols. I have to say, in watching George Springer in right field, anything in the air, I don't care if it's to his left, to his right, behind him, or in front, he has made the play.
Got a pretty good jump. That's what you're talking about.
Oh, he does. Pujols. It's a ground ball to the right side. The only guy over there is Singleton. He makes the play. 2 out quickly here in the 5th inning. It'll bring up cleanup man Josh Hamilton.
You talk about jumps in the outfield and the infield. And I always felt that guys that got good jumps were the guys that expected the ball to be hit to them, but they also wanted it to be hit to them. You see some guys who get caught on their heels a little bit, and I think they're anticipating the hopes that the ball would not be hit to them.
That's a good point. I think that you're more inclined to see the play as it really is when you're wanting the ball. Hamilton is struck out and flied out. In the games that he's played well for the Angels this year. And again, just his 36th game of the year. Brett Oberholzer could certainly use a nice quick inning here. For the moment, both bullpens quiet. It has not been a kind night to Brett Oberholzer. 9 Angels hits. Has a 1-2 count now on Hamilton. Trying to come up with his first 1-2-3 inning. He faced just 3 in the 2nd inning, but did allow a base hit to David Freese. Chris Iannetta grounded into a double play. The 1-2 got him swinging. Nice changeup at 81. A 1-2-3 inning. And the 3rd strikeout of the night for Brett Oberholzer. 5-2 Angels.
Care for your car. A couple of left-handers going at it. Both share a similar record. 8 wins between the two of them. Or 16 between the two of them, splitting those 8 wins apiece. Dallas Keuchel having himself a great year for the Houston Astros. Still below a 3 with that ERA. C.J. Wilson likes to throw himself a lot of pitches, have a lot of action on the base paths behind him. Still pitches reasonably well. He's got a high ERA against the Astros this year at a 5.06.
We move to the 6th. 5-2 Angels. Matt Dominguez leads it off and fouls the first pitch. Dominguez on the night, 0 for 2. He's flied out and grounded into a double play. That was a 3-6-1 double play to end the 3rd. Strike at the knees, outside corner. It's 0-2. Two runs, 6 hits for the Astros. 5 runs, 9 hits for the Angels. The Astros have left 5 base runners. They had base hits back-to-back by Altuve and Castro to start the first inning. Did not score a run. And now 2-2. Number of finals in with the Astros now playing on the West Coast. Toronto Blue Jays were in Oakland today. 4-1 final. The A's win it. Ground ball back to the bag at 3rd. And the throw on to get Matt Dominguez. And out number 1 here in the 6th.
It wasn't an easy play. Gets beat by David Freese getting up there. You see him kind of side saddle it, but picks himself a pretty good hop. Not easy to backhand that short hop after moving in. Good play.
Sonny Gray picked up that win for the Oakland A's over the Blue Jays. 4-1 that final. The Oakland A's just continue to pick up wins. It's what they do. They won the division 2 consecutive years. As Chris Carter stands in and takes a strike. Carter with a double and a strikeout on the evening. Oh, 0-2 the count. 6 strikeouts on the night for Matt Shoemaker. A guy who doesn't throw overly hard and yet strikes out almost a batter an inning. A change below the knees. The Dodgers are winners. 3-2 at Colorado. Pitchers duel in Colorado. Zach Greinke worked it for the Dodgers. Fly ball right field and deep. Back at the track. Cowgill now comes back in toward the grass and makes the play. So Carter gets under it just a bit. Second out of the inning, and good time to check in with Julia.
Hey, Ash, a very fun connection between Matt Shoemaker and Astros pitcher Anthony Bass. The two went to the same high school. Shoemaker just 1 year older than Anthony Bass, and they're very close. They always have been close. In the offseason, they live in that area. It's Trenton High School, close to Michigan, or excuse me, Detroit, Michigan. And Shoemaker obviously went to Eastern Michigan, so they throw there in the offseason. Really, really good friends, and Bass giving him a hard time about the beard today in his beard game.
Apparently the beards grow pretty well in that part of the country, huh?
Gets cold.
Exactly, yeah, you need it.
0-1 the count on Presley. He softly lines one. It's going to dunk in left center field for a base hit. And now digs for second base. The throw in from Hamilton, not in time. Alex Presley just hustles himself a 2-bagger here with 2 outs in the 6th.
To say what I'm about to say only because we've seen Josh Hamilton play quite a bit against the Houston Astros, but it seems sometimes that he takes his offense out on defense a little bit and gets a little lackadaisical. Ball pops out of his hand, but just not a real effort to go get the ball sometimes.
Well, I think it's fair, and I think there are times when he doesn't look like it's all about doing it the right way.
Well, we saw a lot of it last year, and it was really frustrating to watch a guy that is so talented as Josh Hamilton is to just lollygag after a couple balls here and there and not run out a ground ball or lose track of how many outs when you're running the base paths.
Yeah, we saw one embarrassing end to a ball game for the Angels last year as Kike Hernandez takes a strike. Kike has struck out and walked, but there was one out and a pop fly in foul territory. Hamilton was the runner at first base and just took off jogging toward third. As the catch was made, they doubled him up, and that was the end of the ball game, and it was really embarrassing.
Well, and really not a care in the world, to be honest with you, the way he came off the field. That's what got to me a little bit. But guys do that. You have a tough day. I mean, he's been swinging the bat reasonably well. Comes into tonight's game and goes 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts, and maybe replaying that at bat in his head instead of attacking that ball and realizing Presley could take the extra base on it.
Well, let's be honest. Can you picture Jose Altuve doing that?
No, never.
There's just no way. And I think it, quite frankly, is inexcusable. Everybody can make a mistake once in a while, but the body language is the part I think we're both really talking about.
Well, it would be a shame. I mean, not a shame for the Astros if Kike gets a base hit right here, but you got 2 outs, and the guy easily got into scoring position.
1-2 the count on Kike Hernandez. Already a dinger, a double, and a couple of RBIs in the big leagues. Half swing, he goes through. Home plate umpire Paul Nauer takes it himself. That'll do it as the strikeout records the out on Hernandez. 7 punch outs now for Shoemaker.
To 2. Create memories, have fun, and enjoy a premium experience with an Astros luxury suite at Minute Maid Park. Let us create an experience your group won't forget. Call the Astros premium ticket line at 1-877-9-ASTROS or reserve your luxury suite today. I apologize for that.
Well, you can reserve it twice, right?
Hey, twice is better.
5-2 Angels lead. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Second baseman Howie Kendrick at the plate. 2 for 2 on the night. Singled in a run in the 1st inning. Singled and scored a run in the 4th inning. And the 2 for 2 night has Kendrick at .277 on the year. Good to see Obi working into this 6th inning. 4-run 4th inning jeopardized his chances on the night. The Angels now have a right-hander throwing in their pen. It's fouled back. 0-2 on Kendrick. It appears to be right-hander Kevin Jepson working in the pen. Oberholzer with the 0-2. Right on the hands of Kendrick. Other games around the big leagues. The Yankees 7-4 winners at Minnesota. Masahiro Tanaka wins his 12th on the year. And Carlos Beltran with a 3-run dinger. Derek Jeter went 0 for 4 in that one, hitting .268 on the year. Again on the hands, and again fouled off by Kendrick. Tanaka did allow 4 earned runs in that game. That ERA has been pushing upward recently at 2.27 now. Phil Hughes, there's been some talk as a starting pitcher with the Minnesota Twins that he might have a chance to make the All-Star squad. He allowed 7 earned runs in 6 1/3 innings today. And again fouling it off is Kendrick. That ERA for Phil Hughes at 3.95. And you would like to think that Dallas Keuchel, with his numbers, should be well in advance of any consideration for Phil Hughes making the All-Star squad.
He's got the numbers to back it up. The unfortunate reality is some of these teams that don't have those excessive records that get noticed quite a bit, like the Houston Astros, may only get one representative because of that fact. It's unfortunate and undeserving, because Dallas Keuchel, for me, has pitched his way onto that All-Star team, but Altuve has got to be the obvious choice.
And by the way, that All-Star voting ends tonight, 11:59 Eastern time, so 10:59 Central. Shot down the right field side. Springer with a good jump on the move and makes a great running grab. And this one up and over his head.
It's too quick for his own good.
It's the second time I recall seeing George have to kind of reach back behind his head to make the play.
When you run to that imaginary spot where you anticipate that ball landing, there's been actually a little more carry on fly balls this evening here at Anaheim than I think we both anticipated or we're used to seeing.
Without a doubt.
So I'm sure George was running to that spot, and that just a little bit extra carry down in that right field corner. But again, a good job of getting to a spot, though, for George Springer.
Yeah, I completely agree with your assessment. I have come in here in recent years and thought this is one at night, one of the toughest ballparks to hit a home run in. And yet we're starting to see fly balls just routinely carried to the track and the wall.
Well, tonight's a little bit different, too. Normally here in Anaheim, when the sun goes down and gets behind the stadium a little bit and those shadows creep in, it cools off quite a bit, but that's not the case tonight.
No, it has not cooled off. I think we ought to point out as Singleton goes into foul territory and makes the play. Out number 2 here in the inning. Are you good with that comment?
I am. I agree wholeheartedly.
Two down for the DH, C.J. Cron. Cron was robbed in the second inning by George Springer. He's also singled in a run and scored a run with that base hit in the 4th inning. Part of that 4-run frame for the Angels. Philadelphia Phillies down the Marlins in Miami 5-4. 2-0 the count. And now 3-0. Waiting on deck, the third baseman, David Freese. We mentioned the Astros 3 more games here with the Angels, then move on to Arlington to face the Texas Rangers. And now it appears the Angels have another right-hander loosening in their pen. 3-1 the count. The Rangers beaten by Baltimore tonight, 5-2. Jeff Blum's Baltimore Orioles. And now the walk. So the walk comes with 2 outs. and brings up David Freese. It's time for the Mako big hit of the game. It is David Freese with that double right center field, just reaching out but getting it to the track in right center.
That's one of those balls I was talking about that carried a little bit further than we thought for those two big RBIs.
Well, you talked about that little reach-out swing driving the ball that far. Very much a surprise to see the ball carry that way here. That drove in a pair for the Angels. Runs 3 and 4 at the time. That gave them the lead. Freese with a single and a double. By the way, when you sized up the Baltimore Orioles to win the American League East, did you see Steve Pearce having a big year?
Absolutely not.
4 for 5 tonight, 2 ribbies, hitting .338. Probably not qualifying for the batting race, but .338 the batting average for Steve Pearce.
A multi-home run game a couple days ago, if I recall correctly.
2 doubles in this game, 14 on the year.
Lightning in a bottle.
Yep. And down on strikes is Freese. That'll do it for the Angels in the 6th inning. They leave a man on the 2-out walk. It's 5-2 Angels on top.
You by Miller Lite. A couple of moments for this young man right here, just going out and doing what he does. Putting the barrel on the ball, finds a way to get that infield hit, then gets a hanging split finger from Shoemaker and drives it deep to left field. Next time up, just turns on a fastball. We've seen him starting to turn on balls a little bit more this season. The average is up. Pitchers are still trying to figure him out here. Really no answer for what he's bringing to the ballpark these days.
The Angels go to the bullpen now as they bring in right-hander Kevin Jepsen. He's 29 years of age. In his 40th game of the year for the Angels, all working out of the bullpen, and he's allowed just 21 hits in 33 innings.
Pretty solid numbers. Right-handed hitters having a tough time. Jepsen throws extremely hard. Good hard slider. Split mixed in there.
Here in the 7th inning, Jepsen will face the 9-1-2 spots. Marwin Gonzalez leads it off.
And with Grilli coming over from the Pittsburgh Pirates from that Frieri trade, it's kind of turned into the Jepsen, Grilli, Joe Smith closeout for the Anaheim Angels.
Frieri was the closer for the Angels, but just put up some real rugged numbers this year. The Angels finally dealing him to the Pirates. Pirates get the younger, bigger arm in that deal. But Jason Grilli might be able to help this club down the stretch. Jepsen works it from the stretch. Brings the high heat. 97, there's that arm that Blummer was talking about. 41 strikeouts in 33 innings. He has walked more hitters than he would like, for sure. Walking just over 4 men per 9 innings. But that strikeout total, 11 plus each 9 innings. And then you factor in the Astros bats. They lead the league most strikeouts by their hitters. Little looper down the left side, out of the reach of Freeze. 1-2 the count on Marwin. Marwin has walked and scored in the third and flied out. Nice play. In fact, a very fine play in the fourth inning by Mike Trout as he came on from center on a little looping fly ball.
Fastball just made a play on his thumbs.
Like a Game Boy, is that what you're talking about?
No, a little jam sandwich.
Breaking ball got him. So there's another one of the strikeouts for Kevin Jepsen. First out here in the 7th inning. Back to the top with Jose Altuve, who's 3 for 3 on the night.
A bit of an off the table slider.
Eight strikeouts of Houston hitters on the night. Now, we just saw the hits by Altuve, but it's just that steady stream of hits he's coming up with. Perfectly placed heater at 96. Looks like he'll take a peek at a pitch every now and then just to size up a pitcher. And takes a second strike. Now, this is the same act that Altuve put on in the first inning. After he got a couple of strikes on him, he hit a little slow roller on the third base side out of the reach of Freeze.
He's giving the pitcher a false sense of hope with the 0-2 count.
Sees the ball so well. Seldom do you see Altuve take a flailing hack at a slider in the dirt or the splitter. It'll happen, but when it happens, sometimes he comes up with a knock on it.
It's an excellent point.
Reaches out and spoils on the fastball. We have not seen a long ball on the game, and yet 9 hits for the Angels, putting 5 runs on the board. The Astros with 7 hits of their own tonight. Pitch is pop foul. Jeff Blum almost getting his feet under, but when you get a little older, you lose the footwork and you come up a bit shy.
I mean, I got to like jump out here as things start getting ugly, and you got to hold my feet while I go for it. Or at least I hope you would.
Well, I was just about getting up out of my seat too.
I saw that. Yeah, you were pretty aggressive.
You did notice that. Oh, okay. I was going after the candy, actually. Sorry. Ground ball back to the mound. So Jepsen's going to get Altuve. Second out here in the 7th inning. Altuve now 3 for 4 on his night. And we check in with Julia once again.
Hey, Ash. I got Jason Castro bumped up in the lineup today. Bo Porter putting him between Altuve and Springer. He said it was for the offense to get going, but then went back to it and said it's more specifically for Castro to get Castro going today. And, with Altuve, who's usually on base and has been all night tonight, the pitches could be a little different. He's trying to get him some more fastballs. But Castro told me, I think the big thing here is Springer hitting behind me.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I think we both are. We were wondering before the game what the logic might be with Castro in the 2 spot, but it's worked well. He's 2 for 3 on his night, a couple of base hits. Hits it on the ground slowly to first. Pujols will handle it and go to the bag. And a 1-2-3 7th inning turned in by Kevin Jepsen. We played 6.5. It's 5-2 Angels.
5-2. Hey, kids can join all the Astros fun this season with an Astros Buddies Kids Club membership. Catch all the baseball action plus access to fun, exclusive experiences and prizes throughout the season. Visit Astros.com/buddies to register today. Ash.
Thanks a lot, Julia. Angels have a couple of more right-handers loosening in their pen. Corey Rasmus is one, and that other one was
Jason Grilli.
Jason Grilli, that's right, recently picked up. Interesting story. I don't know if you saw it on Jason Grilli. He had been traded for Frieri. The two met up in the airport in Chicago in the restroom, just bumped into each other. Frieri thought, I think I know who this guy is, and all of a sudden he realized it was Jason Grilli, and they're heading to the opposite cities trying to join their clubs now. And size of O'Hare Airport and that happening, how about that?
What are the chances?
Yeah, very intriguing story. Chris Iannetta, the catcher, leads it off here in the 7th inning. Brett Oberholzer still on working it here in the 7th. Trailing 5-2. Trying to help that bullpen out. And that bullpen for the Astros still remains quiet. The 2-0 pitch right on the outside edge. Oberholzer, for the moment, with the 6 innings and 5 earned runs against him tonight, has an ERA at 4.69. 2-2 the count. Starts the inning at 87 pitches. He's now at 91. So a good chance for Obi to work it a bit deeper. All the while hope that the offense can come alive for Houston. And now a 3-2 count on Iannetta. The last time Oberholzer pitched with over 100 pitches in a ball game, he had 105 at Detroit against the Tigers May 6th. He has been held under that 100 mark in each start since. And walks the leadoff man here in the 7th inning. And we'll see if that gets some activity going in the pen for Houston.
It just might, but I think it's also interesting. Julia talked about the miniature or the temporary 6-man rotation the Astros are working with right now, giving Oberholzer another chance to go out there and pitch. Not sure what his future holds. I wonder if that plays into the fact that he's pitching a little more extensively tonight, even though he's losing this game. And with the exception of that 4th inning, he's pitched pretty well. But maybe Bo Porter's going to exhaust the efforts of Brett Oberholzer while he's here.
Feldman, McHugh, Cozart, Keuchel, Peacock, and Oberholzer. Leadoff man at the plate, Colin Cowgill. And Obi falls behind 1-0. And now the Astros get a right-hander throwing in their pen.
Mr. Veras.
Jose Veras will tune it up. The count. Obi suddenly having a tough time finding the strike zone. Colin Cowgill hitting .282 on the year. Has an 0 for 3 night going. Tried to bunt his way aboard in the 4th inning. And ran into the baseball in fair territory. He is also struck out and grounded out. 3-0 the count. Are you detecting anything on Obi?
I think he's getting a little tired. 96 pitches. We've talked about how hot it is here in Southern California.
Well, you can see the sweat on the jersey.
Yeah, he's been working his tail off out there.
That's what my shirt looks like right now. I don't know about yours.
It doesn't look like that, but it smells a little bit different. I know that for sure.
3-1. Got to work your way back into this count. Cowgill, a good solid look to his third base coach.
Be careful. This kid's got some pop in his bat.
Gary DiSarcina, that third base coach now for the Angels. 3-1 pitch, and taking again is Cowgill. That'll fill it. Well, you talk about the pop, 5 dingers. See if the runner's on the move. That's Iannetta. He does not go. The pitch is fouled back. Tigers have defeated Tampa Bay 8-1. Brad Ausmus's boys keep on winning, 48-34 now for the Tigers. Well, the Astros just hit a roadblock when they faced Tampa Bay. And it has carried over. 3-2 again, fouled back to the screen. Tampa Bay had just 2 base hits in that ball game. Meanwhile, the Tigers had 15. 3 for Miguel Cabrera. Right at 100 pitches now for Obi. Tigers had 6 hitters with multiple hits on the night, led by Cabrera. Again, the 3-2 and ball 4. A couple of walks here to start the 7th inning. Iannetta and Cowgill aboard. And now the pitching coach, Brent Strom, is going to come to the mound. That means that Obi has to face at least one more hitter. Assuming that Brent Strom is not going to make the change himself.
I thought they would have gone to the pen with Mike Trout coming to the plate.
Once that pitching coach comes out, now he can make the change, but it usually won't happen that way. And so you know if he leaves the mound here without making a change, that Obi has to face this hitter.
Back-to-back walks, a scorching hot Mike Trout stepping into the box. Already has a couple of hits off of Brett Oberholzer. Over 100 pitches. Thought it might have been a good time to bring in Veras and take your chances with him, but this is Obi's game.
So Trout with that 2 for 3 night has the batting average at .315. If you're into that WAR category, he's now leading in the American League. And he's not even getting any love for the defensive side of the game. He takes a strike. It's really all been about offense for Mike Trout. A couple of years ago, the defensive WAR loved Mike Trout. But then a lot of people seem to complain about the numbers he picked up. And now he's having a hard time even being an average outfielder. Kind of tough when you've got that subjective side of things. Subjectively, I think this guy's a pretty good player. 0-1 pitch from Obi. I have a feeling there are 29 other clubs would take him in a heartbeat.
There's 29 other teams that would build their franchise around him.
By the way, that was Eric Bedard for Tampa Bay. 2 innings of 8 hits, 6-run ball tonight. Max Scherzer picked up the win. 8 innings, just 1 run against Scherzer. And Scherzer now 10-3. 0-2 pitch is taken high. Your old boys, the Diamondbacks, put 10 on the board and beat the Pirates 10-2.
How about those D-backs?
Kirk Gibson getting the credit now. He moved David Peralta into the 2 spot in the batting order. Ball hit in the air, right center field. Easy for Springer. He'll make the catch. Runner tags at second, but holds, and there's that strong arm from George Springer. Out number 1 here in the 7th.
Good sequence for Oberholzer. Tough out, Mike Trout. Good job by Springer. See him shuffling his steps, getting behind that ball. That's how you create nice crow hop to get that good maximum effort out of that strong right arm.
Now Bo Porter's coming out. He's going to make the change. So that'll do it for Obi. He works 1 out here into the 7th inning. And he'll leave trailing the Angels 5-2, 105 pitches on the night for Obi. And that's a real battling job. And I think Bo Porter appreciates the effort by Oberholzer. But as it stands, Obi can only lose it tonight or have nothing to do with it. We go to the bullpen and we'll be right back.
Here in Anaheim, 5-2 Angels. Be sure to join us tomorrow for the second game of the series between the Astros and the Angels. Coverage begins at 7:30 p.m. on Comcast Sportsnet, your home of your home team. Yes.
Thanks a lot, Julia. Tomorrow, the 4th of July. Brett Oberholzer gave it quite a battle tonight. Had that 4-run fourth inning that the Angels put up, and that did him in. But you can see the effort that he's expended in getting into the 7th inning. Now Jose Veras comes on. 3 appearances with the Astros. For Jose Veras, a lot of the time it's about being able to throw strikes once he comes in. He'll face the 3-hitter Albert Pujols. Runners at first and second, 1 out. 3, 4, 5 coming up here in the inning. Of course, Veras just recently picked up by the club. Signed with the Cubs in the offseason. And it just didn't work out in Chicago for Veras. He has said that he wanted to stay in Houston. Very happy to be with the Astros club. And now a chance to get Albert Pujols. Pujols takes one right down the chute. It's 0-1. For Pujols on the night, he had a first inning single. Since then, he had a soft liner into left field and a terrific play by Kike Hernandez. Hernandez made the catch and turned it into a double play, and he's also grounded out. So 1 for 3 on the night. Changeup. That body of Castro started well off the plate, and then he reached back to catch this one through the plate. Wow. Again, Castro's looking slider there, isn't he?
Yeah, that's. I mean, you know better than I do, but that sometimes you see that catcher shift to the outside corner. He's anticipating the ball breaking that way. I'm sure he wasn't trying to give the catcher, I mean the umpire, a better view.
Had that been a fastball, I think home plate umpire Paul Nauert was going to get involved more than he is comfortable with, generally speaking. 0-2 the count on Pujols. And now Veras wants to see those signs again. Said it many times, but I've never seen a club that had so many cross-ups with signs. 1-2 the count.
Might be the first ball club to hire a LASIK eye surgeon on a permanent basis.
Do daily surgeries for the club.
It's a game of adjustments.
Yeah, tune-ups. That's kind of the way they do it now.
Yeah.
We are the only thing going on in Major League Baseball. Everything else is done. Slider is fouled. Kind of a big looping, hanging slider.
There's all kinds of awkwardness. Pujols' swing almost matched Veras' delivery.
That came up out of the hand of Veras. And generally speaking, that's not a good thing to have happen.
It was the don't swing swing.
Well, that pitch will get you because you just don't anticipate seeing that pitch that starts upward coming back in for a strike. Better slider, but out of the strike zone. Or curveball or whatever that is. We're in the 7th. 5-2 Angels lead it. First of 4 here over the weekend. Dallas Keuchel goes tomorrow against C.J. Wilson. Battle of left-handers. That's an 8:05 start tomorrow night. Ground ball to short. Should be 2. Gonzalez to Altuve, and then he takes a little extra time to get the double play. 6-4-3 on that double play. Third one rather, turned by the Astros tonight. It's 5-2 Angels after 7.
Astros 5-2. We move to the top of the 8th here in Anaheim. And as promised earlier in the game, we have the AT&T fan photo of the game brought to you by AT&T. Let's see who it is today. At the Stewart 83 tweets us this one. I've got some shoes to match those shirts. Very nicely done. Tweet your photos to hashtag CSNH fan photo for a chance to be shown in an upcoming game broadcast. It's brought to you by AT&T. Guys.
Thanks a lot, Julia. And we had a big feature on Julia and the shoes back home and looking good. Changes for the Angels, a couple in the inning. John McDonald takes over at third base for David Freese. And on the mound, Jason Grilli, recently acquired, will take over. Pitcher number 3 on the night for the Halos.
You get a look at Jason Grilli, picked up from Pittsburgh for Frieri. Looking for a change of scenery, maybe mix things up a little bit for him. Been pitching well since he's been over here at a Seton Hall University.
That might ring a bell for Craig Biggio.
Yep. Grilli's got a fastball, slider, sinker. Change up. He'll cut it every once in a while.
Faces George Springer to start things here in the 8th inning and gets in front 0-1. Yeah, the Angels have gotten Grilli right in the mix, already his 4th game now. A ball and a strike on Springer. Matt Shoemaker started and fell behind for the Angels, but he kept on plugging, wound up with 6 innings and 2 earnings against him. 7 strikeouts on his night. Kevin Jepsen came in for an inning, and now Grilli here in the 8th. And Grilli gets in front 1-2. Springer on the night 0 for 3 with a strikeout. That is your American League leader in strikeouts. Also 16 homers. And more excitement than we thought we might see for a long time. Loops one down the right field side. He's going to drop one in for a base hit. So Springer 1 for 4. Leadoff single here in the 8th brings up cleanup man John Singleton.
It's good to see from George Springer. Not a nasty pitch from Grilli, but still with 2 strikes, Springer does a good job of fighting that ball off. And sometimes you foul it off, sometimes you drop one in there for a nice knock, for a salvage on the evening.
I think there's some evidence of him cutting down on that swing a bit and giving himself a chance with a couple of strikes.
It's not a bad idea.
Singleton 0 for 2 tonight with a walk, now 0 for his last 11. Hits one in the air, right center field, deep but not deep enough. Trout is under, he'll make the catch. Springer tags and bluffs on out number 1. So Singleton in the midst of a bit of a slump right now, 0 for his last 12. Matt Dominguez will stand in, 0 for 3 on his night. Brett Oberholzer winds up going 6 1/3, allowing 5 earned runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. Really with a slider for a strike. Really was a big part of what the Pirates did with their championship year last year. Pitch is fouled on the right side. Made the All-Star team last year, a .270 ERA in 54 games. Had 33 saves for the Buccos. He's now 37 years of age. So at the age of 36, he allowed only 40 hits in 50 innings of work. Slider as Dominguez gets a piece. When you talk Jason Grilli, you're talking about a guy drafted as a first rounder, 4th pick overall, way back in '97. And that by the San Francisco Giants. Fastball away. It's 1-2 on Matty D. Yeah. When you consider 1997, in some ways maybe it doesn't seem that long ago, but a couple of the guys drafted that year just in front of Grilli, J.D. Drew and Troy Gloss, they are long gone. Dominguez fouls it into the seats on the right side. Wow.
Oh, that's letting the ball get deep. My goodness. Oh, Julia's okay.
What iron is that he shanked right there?
My goodness. Nobody carries a 2-iron anymore, do they?
I do. Hot shot to second. Kendrick boxes it momentarily. They get the out at second. So a fielder's choice. 4-6. That ball sharply hit and a very easy double play if handled by Kendrick.
And sometimes you're playing infield and you think you're playing second or short and you got enough time to pick up that ball getting to you, but that ball was smoked. Don't have a chance to move your feet really. All you can do is what Howie Kendrick did, just chest it up, get the lead out.
Yeah, pretty good job when you see a guy not go matador on that play. 2 outs for Chris Carter.
Are you referring to guys that could play a ball into a hit?
Sometimes.
I've seen it.
Well, you know, sometimes you see a guy get his body out of the way and he'll come up with the play and you think, oh, great job. But was it really? Or was it a fortunate job that shift on for Carter? He takes a strike. Carter with a double in 3 at-bats, had a double back in the second inning. And there are plays where clearly I'd get my lips out of the way too.
Yeah, sometimes that ball will catch you before you catch it.
Vernon Wells was also in that 97 draft. 1-2 on Carter. Michael Kadire might still be around. He was in that one. Not many guys, though.
He's still hitting.
You know who was in that draft? Lance Berkman.
Who?
How about that? Carter down on strike. Second time tonight. That's now 9 strikeouts of Houston hitters as the Astros go down in the 8th. It's 5-2 Angels.
Five-2 to the Angels. Sports Talk Live with Kevin Eschenfelder wrangles up some noteworthy sports guests that have plenty of buzzworthy opinions. You'll never know who will stop by this Monday through Friday at 5. Tomorrow, being a holiday, it's going to be a best of show. Don't miss it, guys.
Thanks a lot, Julia. To the bottom of the 8th inning we go. 5-2, the Angels on top. LA with 9 hits. The Astros with 8 on the night. There has not been an error throughout the evening. And now for the Angels, 4, 5, and 6 coming up. Josh Hamilton leads it off. Be followed by Howie Kendrick and Eric Ibar. Hamilton 0 for 3 with a couple of punch-outs. And that changeup gets a swing and a miss.
He's not afraid to swing at the first pitch every at-bat.
Down to the count, 0-2 is Hamilton. Let's try to see how many walks he has on the year. 18. Coming into play tonight, 153 at bats, so you can add 3 to that. We're not going to draw a lot of walks. Although an on-base percentage just under the 400 mark. Hits it in the air, but foul. Slicing, and that'll find the seats. Good hustle by Kike Hernandez. And a big smile as well. There's a young man that seems to just have a great time coming to the yard. Just feel like you want to root for this guy. Jose Veras on the hill. And misses inside. The Angels picked up a run in the first inning. RBI hit by Howie Kendrick. The Astros went on top, led it 2-1 as they put 2 on the board in the third inning. Got RBIs out of Jason Castro and George Springer. Breaking ball got him. So Hamilton down on strikes, third time tonight. 5 strikeouts for Houston pitching.
That was kind of nasty right there from Veras. That herky-jerky motion, but that was a true 12-6er off the table. Good big break.
With 1 out, Howie Kendrick stands in, 2 for 3 on his night, and had a bid for a third hit, but for Springer running it down in right field. So the Astros took the lead in the third inning, but the Angels with 4 on the board in the fourth inning, and they have held on from that point. They strung together 4 consecutive hits with 1 out against Oberholzer, then got a sac fly, and that was a big time play by Springer up against the wall in right. Strike on the corner, it's 1-1. When you hear talk about best second baseman in baseball, you don't hear the name of Howie Kendrick much, but he's played it well for the Angels for quite a while now. There's that breaking ball again. And Kendrick once again putting up solid numbers this year. He's a lifetime .291 hitter. So that .270-ish mark this year, well below the norm for Kendrick. Breaking ball hit off the end of the bat in the air to left field. Kike Hernandez has a beat on it, and out number 2.
MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 12 years. Join the millions of subscribers. Watch every out-of-market game live in true HD on over 400 devices. Visit Astros.com for details.
Eric Ibar stands in, 1 for 3 on his night. That 1 hit came part of that string of hits in the fourth inning. He also scored a run. Infield shades to the right side, outfield pushes toward left. Huge gap in right center. Ibar, one of the many Dominican Republic born players that has played shortstop so well in the major leagues. Has the count at 0-2. Veras effective with all the pitches right now. Ibar has played his entire major league career with these Angels. Came up in 2006, and he's been a fixture at short since. Veras tries to backdoor him with the breaking ball. Veras works it from the stretch at all times. Takes quite a while to get that sign with Jason Castro. And down on strikes is Ibar. A couple of strikeouts in the inning for Veras as he shuts down the Angels, but it's 5-2 LA on top as we go to the ninth. Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. And by Deliver Us from Evil in theaters July 2nd. Angels make another change as they go to the bullpen. They'll bring on their closer Joe Smith here for the ninth inning. And it is a save opportunity for Smith.
Submariner for the most part, Joe Smith. Slinging in there about 88, 90 miles an hour. Good run on that sidearm fastball. Flip that slider in there almost like a frisbee. Kind of hesitate. Get some swing and misses on that. Whip right around one. He's got 9 saves out of 13 opportunities. Pretty good K to walk ratio also.
Once Briere lost that closer's role for the Angels, they turned to Joe Smith, and he has taken it. He's 30 years of age. 9 saves on the year. He had 3 last year for Cleveland. And now trying to close down the Astros here in the ninth inning. 7, 8, 9 coming up against Smith. Alex Presley leads it off. He's 1 for 3 with a double. To be followed by Kike Hernandez and Marwin Gonzalez spot. Presley puts it in the air, center field shallow as Trout jogs in and under and makes the catch. 1 up, 1 down here in the ninth inning. Stay tuned for Astros postgame live presented by Jack in the Box. So Smith gets that first out and now faces Kike Hernandez. Hernandez 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. He's drawn a walk, but he made his presence felt in the game with a terrific defensive play, creating a double play back in the third inning. Albert Pujols lined one to left field with Trout aboard at second. Trout took off. He thought the ball was going to drop. That's how good the play was in left field by Kike Hernandez. And then it was an easy play as Kike got up and lobbed into second base to complete the double play. 0-2 the count. You earn your money right here as a right-hand hitter against a guy like Smith. Frisbee way outside. It's 1-2.
I think it looks like a wiffle ball moving that much out of that arm angle.
You know, you've got a club like the Angels who have a genuine shot. I mean, they're playing good baseball, and they've got a closer who has just 12 major league saves. Guy who's been around since 2007, so they're really entrusting things into the hands of Joe Smith. Mike Scioscia knows his business, though. We were talking about how long Scioscia's been around. Terrific manager. A lot of rumors here in recent years, but he survives every time. Again, Scioscia started with the Angels in 2000. Brought the Angels to an 82-80 mark that year, and he's been with them ever since. Twice he has been the American League Manager of the Year, 2002 and 2009. Of course, it was 2002 that saw the Angels win the World Series. Managed the All-Star game in 2003. Steady influence, a rock for the Angels.
They had a pretty good closer in 2002, Troy Percival. And I spent so much money on offense and pitching. That back end of the bullpen over the last couple of years has not been clutch at all for Mike Scioscia.
Last year, the Angels fell to 78 and 84. And that's not accepted here in Anaheim. Artie Moreno, the owner, has spent a lot of money. As Kike pops it up on the right side, easy for Kendrick. On the outfield grass, he'll make the catch. 2 down here in the 9th inning, so the Astros down to an out as Marwin Gonzalez comes to the plate. Marwin has walked and scored in the 3rd inning. Has flied out and struck out. .279 the batting average. And 4 bombs on the year for Marwin. Whoa. Shows bunt and then has to get himself out of the way of this fastball running up and in.
Question is, how did he get out of the way? Good grief.
That was man-eating right there.
He's still on his feet. Pretty impressive skills.
Wow. You think Marwin was considering laying down a bunt, or was that just something you do while you take strike number 1?
I think that was, I'm going to take strike number 1 by showing a bunt and maybe getting ball one. He about lost a couple of fingers.
Two 2-0 the count. If Marwin reaches, Jose Altuve will come to the plate looking for a 4th knock of the night. And now 3-0 the count. Three and 1 on Margot. Brett Oberholzer started and stands to lose it. And the 2-out walk to Marwin Gonzalez. So Jose Altuve has a shot at a 4th hit on the night. He's 3 for 4 as he stands in.
Saw his average drop to 348 after not getting that hit in his 4th at bat. He's probably happy to have this AB right now.
Dropped to 348, huh?
Yeah.
I once had a spring at some point where I think that might have happened for me.
Yeah, me too, when it was on Xbox. I'm not kidding.
Oh, I took you dead seriously. Ground ball foul, 3rd base side, although I know you're just being modest.
Had a couple springs at 248, not 348. Still made a ball club every now and then.
Yeah, but you were in a position to say it's not about the spring, and you didn't
Thank
want to waste the hits then anyway.
It took me 6 years to get to that point, but I was thankful for it.
Those are the rough springs when you're hitting about 600 and you're trying to make some outs so you can save some hits.
Yeah, keep me out of the lineup, Skipper. I got to save some of these for after April 1st.
Ground ball to short. This should do it. Ibar with the play. Throws out Altuve, who winds up 3 for 5 on the night, and the Astros are done. They leave a man on the walk as the Angels win game 1 of the 4-game set here, 5-2 tonight. Brett Oberholzer takes the loss. Matt Shoemaker gets the win, and the Angels just keep on winning, and that's 7 consecutive wins at home for these LA Angels of Anaheim. That final tonight, 5-2. We'll be back with more.